from a functional standpoint, it's flat. I've got a continuous all the way across the front. The grind marks are still present in the back on these corners. So I'm going to give it a little bit more. It's nearly there. Looking real good though. Real good. No pressure really. You know, we're not leaning on it. Just enough downward pressure. Keep that bevel engaged. Turn this way. I find if I go straight, I tend to rock a little bit. And you'll hear that if you slow down. This is a DMT extra coarse. This moves a lot of metal quickly. And I use this stone quite a bit. These vintage tool kits that I like to buy. Typically you've got to do some edge restoration, or they're totally brand new, factory ground, never been touched, like this one. This kit's 15, 20 years old, and it's still got packing grease on the saws and the Kanna. It's never been used that I can tell. It's never been sharpened, let's put it that way. It still has the factory grind. So this is just a relic of the factory grind. But what I'm focusing on is just immediately below that, right there. That spot is lower than all of this. And that's what I'm trying to bring to the same elevation as the rest of the iron. If I don't get it there, it's not going to take a shaving, and it probably leave a little mark on the board. I could buff that out with the strop and you'd never see it, but I'll know it's there. It'll bother me probably tonight, 11 o'clock at night. That one little spot, I'll be trying to go to sleep. I'll have to get up and come up here and sharpen it, do it properly, then I'll be able to go to sleep. Anybody else got that problem? Or just me? And normally I'd leave those cuttings on there because they are extra abrasive, but what I'm finding is the burr is coming off of the edge, and it's sort of messing with me a little bit here. It's causing this thing to skip a little bit, almost like a chatter, because there's a little wire burr underneath the edge and the sharpening stone. Think of it like a grain of sand in your shoe. Probably can't see it, but you can feel it. This is sort of the same thing. There. Now I'm happy with it. Now we've got a... even as thin as that is, it's all we need. It's just a bearing surface. I like how they dish this. That's clever, because then I'm only flattening the bearing surface, which is way less work. That's an extra coarse. That's my scratch pattern. I'm quite happy with that. This is a DMT coarse. First thing we'll do is softly flatten the back with the coarse. And what we'll see is that small corner getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. It's a pretty nice consistent scratch pattern. We'll go up to the next one. DMT fine. First thing, we'll lap the back. Now we're starting to get a nice polish. It's coming along nicely. Hopefully you can hear that. If I am on the bevel, it's fairly quiet. If I come off, that's quite a lot. You can see how far off the, yeah, it's louder. If I'm on the toe, it's louder. So if you stay on that bevel, it's fairly quiet. We've got a pretty good slurry going here on top of this stone. And it's starting to get a little sticky. It doesn't want to run. That's a pretty good sign that you're getting pretty flat. That will be our fine pattern, and you can see little edge pieces of that burr starting to roll, little bright spots. It's getting closer and closer and closer. And that right hand corner's nearly gone. And this edge is quite thin, but I have a bearing surface there. We'll see how it goes over time. I've never actually had one that thin before. That reminds me of some of the photographs of some higher end irons where they really pride themselves on that thin line. What this looks like is somebody got a little happy on the grinder and took her a little close to the edge and caught it just in time. You know, if it was on both sides, it might look pretty nice, but I'm just gonna run it like that and see what it is. We're pretty well done now. I can wipe this guy off. We are going to strop this edge, remove that burr. Looks pretty nice. Gently strop the back first. Get that burr rolling out under the front of the bevel. This guy over. This is what the front looks like. And it will get shinier if you want to spend a bit of time on it. Let's try her out. Nice. Nice.